Hello, everyone. It has been a while since I have been on a live with you all. I am so excited to be here. I am so excited to be with you all, and I cannot wait. Type in the chat, the comments, let me know who you are, where you're joining us from. We're going to start these every 2 weeks because we did this back in 2020 during unprecedented times, and it just seems that unprecedented wants to hang out for a while. So I thought it would be great to reconnect with all of you, to hear how you're doing, to hear about the projects you're taking on, just all kinds of things, to share some humor, to talk donor relations and stewardship. But yeah, let me know. So excited to be here with you. So excited that you're sharing this beautiful space with me. It's January of 2026, and she has come in like a wrecking ball for a lot of us. As most of you know, uh, you know, uh, the end of the year is busy. And then for those of us in donor relations, when we come back in the office, we are in hyper thanking mode. And so I'm sure all of you are still catching your breath from the circle backs, from all of those things. But so excited to have Cheyenne with us and others. Peggy is glad in all caps, Peggy. That makes my heart very happy. I had heard some rumors that people wanted it back, but I wanted to make sure it was a safe space for all of us, and that frankly, I was in the right frame of mind, the right energy to bring this back. So, do you have a donor relations question? Drop it. Do you have an accomplishment or achieve it? Drop it. Do you want to know what's happening outside my window? Drop it. It's cruise ship day here in the Cayman Islands. My name is Lynne Wester. I'm the founder and principal of Donor Relations Group, and I'm so excited to be here with you all today. I've been in all team meetings this morning with my gladiators team, planning some amazing things for 2026. I have been fighting a Ticketmaster queue to go see Bruno Mars, who is one of my favorite artists. I'm going to go see him in Amsterdam and Madrid this summer. Going to spend July 4th with Bruno Mars and friends. But tell me what you're up to. Tell me what's going on. So much has happened in the last 6 years since we used to do these weekly lives. And so, hi, Nicole, all the way in Alaska. I love to see my friends, and, just anybody that wants to join, feel free. All I ask is that we remain, this is a safe space. We're not going to talk about the things that we're not going to talk about. I'm going to set us some healthy boundaries, but we are going to talk about donor relations and stewardship. We can talk about funny things happening in your office. We can talk about wins that you've had. Again, whatever it is that you are thinking about, that you are feeling, dreaming, doing, love to hear what's going on in your world and how we can help you, walk alongside you. Oh, Julie and my friends at Cornell, if you see Ashley Budd, give her a hug for me. Tell her Happy New Year. And I love hearing from friends. It's good to see you, friend. So over the holiday, well, before the holiday, we came up, and I did not bring my prop. My Ashley is gonna smack me around, but we created these things called conversation cards, and so we're gonna ask some questions from that. So excited there. There's Allison in Pasadena. Boy, did you have a Rose Bowl, Allison. What a year for y'all know I'm a college football girl. Monday night, I am treating myself to some delivery. I've been on a delivery hiatus. We have delivery apps here on island, but I am going to treat myself to some delivery and watch some really amazing football Monday night, hopefully. Megan, who's joining us on Facebook, says that her team is heading to a spirit event. I love this. After this, to have students sign a thank a donor board. Oh, that is good vibes all around. I love it. I love hearing that. again, the more we teach about gratitude, my friend Pierre Kawand was commenting on LinkedIn this morning that, people are having AI write an email to someone else who's having AI write an email. So that actually it's AI writing each other back and forth. And I said, this is why the handwritten note, this is why gratitude still wins the day. It stands out. Marianne is joining us in Schenectady in New York. I'm sorry if it's cold there. I hope you are warm at heart and warm. I really appreciate you all spending your lunchtime. Now, Karen is asking a question that I'm really excited about. She says, will you give us some intel on what to expect with the 2026 webinar series Base Camp? So if you buy any of our tracks of the webinar series, and this year we have 3 tracks, 333, donor relations, events, and communication. So you can go to all, you can go to some, you can pick and choose, you can share with your team, because you can buy one webinar for $60 and everybody gets access. So Karen, on Basecamp, so yesterday we did our first webinar of the year on Thanking 2.0 and really talking about, Stacy led it, and really talking about how thanking, if we want to prioritize our thanking, it's got to be more urgent, more timely. It takes us 3 to 4 weeks to get out a letter, and we're living in, a time of immediacy, immediate gratification, Amazon delivery in 2 hours, DoorDash, all those things. And our donors are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting for a letter from the Postal Service, and Lord knows if that'll be reliable, right? So let me tell you. So the base camp groups are communities of practice. So like people are dropping samples after or before the webinar, you can ask questions. So it's like one-on-one consulting. All the speakers are going to be in there, all your fellow participants. So what we have realized is with staffing and funding cuts, with cuts and cuts, some people aren't traveling. And so how can we create a virtual community? So in Basecamp, you can post documents, you can ask questions, you can tag people, you can do all kinds of things. And so Basecamp is going to be our home for our webinar series, all 3 of them. If you buy the full track, you get access to that Basecamp, and we have people assigned to it, making sure you get your answers. We're going to drop some joy in there. I even happen to know that we're going to be dropping some freebies and some surprises in there. So, I love a little surprise. I love. So, Karen, I hope that gives you some perspective. Let's see. Eric says, who's your team on Monday? Eric, my Top Gun friend. I love Eric to death. Eric is with Avid AI. They're one of our partners, and we have so many wonderful partners this year and always. But Eric's more than a partner. He's a friend. He and Kate make my heart very happy, and I love sharing meals with them. Okay, so someone on our team, Liz, actually went to the U. So she's a big U fan. Now, my friend Sarah Mostis with the Mostis has worked at IU for 20-something years. My Gamecocks are not in the championship. Shocker this year. Something happened there. So I want a really good game and a really good story, and I just want to have some fun, Eric. I know that's the politically correct answer, but I will root for whoever wins. That is who I'm rooting for. That's like a Chris Collinsworth comment on an NFL game. And if you picking up what I'm putting down, he's the one that always says, I think whoever scores the most here is gonna win the game. And I'm like, God, Chris, mute. Right? So there you go, Eric. Feel free to drop in who you're rooting for, everyone. Would love to hear about it. My heart, of course, is always with my Gamecocks, and my Lady Gamecocks are doing quite well under Dawn Staley this year. And love Dawn. Big shout out to her when Mom was kind of struggling and at her lowest with the liver cancer. She sent handwritten notes. We have signed copies of her book. She's done nothing but be there as a cancer warrior with my family. And so grateful. And that's big news for our family as well. My mom, as many of you know, was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer. And my mom, 2 years later, she did her 26th treatment Thursday, is cancer free. She's been doing immunotherapy. She's 87 years old and fighting like hell. I don't know if I'm going to get bleeped or not. I don't even know if the internet does that anymore, but don't mess with my mama, because she will kick your ass and cancer's ass too. And so grateful for the folks at Northeast Georgia Medical Center who have helped save my mom's life. And Dad's turning 90 in March, you guys. We got to come up with something creative and cool to do for my dad for his 90th birthday. So if anybody has any brilliant ideas, I take them all in. Peggy says it's our 175th anniversary at the college on 1/29. They're splitting their rally day of giving into 3 separate days. Oh my. Oh dear. Oh dear. So that's a lot. So she asked for ideas about challenges for the other 2. So I would have one focus on the number of donors. I would have one focus on the number of donors that you can get to give you monthly gifts or recurring gifts. If you don't already have a recurring gift program at your nonprofit, university, college, whatever it is, museum, shelter, recurring giving is not the future. It is the now. And if you don't have a great recurring giving program, you've got nothing but opportunity there. So maybe that's your spring. You could do a spring renewal there on 4/29. You could do, something related to recurring giving, having giving grow over time. And then let's see, end of June, which is also the day before the end of the fiscal year. We love when decisions are made without us sometimes. Maybe you could do like a challenge around a multiple of 6 or a multiple of 175. Do something with your anniversary number, maybe. I don't know. Those of you who are on, maybe we can help Peggy source some information there, but let me noodle on that while I answer some other stuff. So, hey, Nicholas. Nicholas says he's a nonprofit fundraising professional, yay, with 8 years of experience, and he wants to advance. I love it. I love hunger. I love drive. Would pursuing a CFRE credential meaningfully impact my competitiveness in the job market? So, Nicholas, I don't know what section or vertical of the nonprofit world. Look, I believe as a lifelong learner, it can never hurt to advance your education. CFRE is one of the ways that we do that. We're a CFRE content provider. I don't have a CFRE. My best friend Clay has a CFRE. My buddy Colton has a CFRE. I have nothing against CFRE, and I think it's a great opportunity. I chose to go and get a master's in fundraising with an emphasis in higher education. And the reason I did that is my employer was willing to pay for it, and they wouldn't pay for the CFRE. And then right at that time, I was working in higher education, and higher education likes degrees. As my dad says, I have more degrees than a thermometer, but so does he. So who is he judging, right? We listen and we don't judge. But I think pursuing professional development in any capacity is helpful. I will tell you, Nicholas, we've been interviewing candidates. I help interview for clients all the time. What is more meaningful than any certification, degree, or anything is how you're investing in yourself and expanding in the career. Are you volunteering, right, in your sector? Are you seeking out professional development? Are you delivering professional development? I look for people that are active in the community. And if I see somebody who's volunteering for AFP or CASE or anywhere, AHP, any of those, I am in. And I love people who are constantly looking to develop. It doesn't have to be just fundraising. Nicholas, Crucial Conversations, I think, is a better certification than almost anything for fundraisers. I love Strengths Finders. So getting Strengths Finder testing done, knowing yourself really well. Any of those things. I have a doctorate from the Disney Institute. I'm a proud Disney Institute grad. They also have a master's, and their professional development is wonderful, as is Ritz-Carlton's. Of course, you can always come to DRG, shameless plug, and get your professional development there as well. So, all right, I've got a LinkedIn user that says, hello, as always, from Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago in March. Please come join us. Our conference is going to be amazing. Said, I saw your comment on the AI talking to AI post. It's very troubling to me that we have moved as an industry into time and attention as commodities, when not too long ago, we were all trying to figure out whether it was worth it to invest in technology for our donors and staff. That is a very grateful, thoughtful response. Someone wrote, but time and attention should table stakes for advancement. We can't keep humanizing AI and dehumanizing fundraisers. I completely agree. I think, so I've held strong. So I'm a technology adopter, right? I'm a technology adopter. I believe that absolutely AI can help us. I use agential AI. I don't use AI though to create content for me. I don't believe in AI for generative content, but I do believe it can help. So I will give you an example of something we do. As you know, I write a lot of session descriptions for conferences, for webinars, things like that. I will feed the session description into AI and say, give me 3 learning outcomes. I never put confidential information in AI. AI is a tool, just like Excel is a tool, just like anything else is a tool, right? So how you use that tool is important for you. Oh my God, Kevin Barry is on, and it is his birthday, and we should sing him happy birthday and give him all the cheers. And here's a cake. I got a cake for you. But time and attention are important. And so, I have said this strongly on other platforms. I'll say it again here. If I see one more article, and I wrote an article for Advancing Philanthropy, not using AI, talking about this, what I cannot stand is when people say AI can get rid of mundane tasks like thanking your donors. And thanking your donors isn't a mundane task. It is the very soul. It is the very essence of who we are. And I just love the act of gratitude. And I just think that gratitude is who we are and what we should embody. I've been spending some time on nonprofit Reddit. Have y'all been over there? Nonprofit or philanthropy Reddit? We've got some work to do, y'all. We really have some work to do. And so culturally, ethically, you're right, Kevin. You're absolutely right. AI is co-intelligence. Instead of calling it artificial intelligence, I call it assisted intelligence. I don't know everything in the world. So AI can help me learn some things or help point me to sources where I can learn some things. And so I really think it's an opportunity. And so I think it's a tool. But if you are thinking about how you can replace your time and effort with AI, you're not doing it right, folks. I will give you an example. So we are hiring, we have 2 more rounds of interviews to go, but we're hiring a integrated marketing specialist. And it's such a good starting position for so many people. We're so excited. And we posted it before the holidays. We've just closed the posting last week. We received hundreds of applications. It was wonderful. Out of that, oh yes, Kathleen, idea generation, interpreting complex materials. Yes. But here's what I'll tell you. 90% of the resumes and cover letters especially, were written by AI, because you know what we did? We did a professor trick, and in our prompt, we wrote out the instructions of what to do. And then in tiny font that was white, so if you cut and pasted it into AI, we asked them to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, because our concierge Ariana is a big Buffalo Bills fan. So she doesn't like the Chiefs the way everybody does, which is great. We love football's kind of ingrained in our culture as a company. And you would not believe it how many people mention the Kansas City Chiefs in their cover letter. We also asked people to in their cover letter, tell us a brand they admired on social media. And we asked them to give us an example of a social media post that they had done they were proud of. 90% of people did not follow those 2 simple instructions. So when we talk about, yes, go Birds for Kevin. Yes. So when we talk about we're becoming complacent and lazy when it comes to that. And I refuse. My company refuses to use AI, but AI to generate our content, you will always come from me. And as I sat there, I've been home. So I'm home here in the Cayman Islands. I'm on the Grand Cayman. I will give you a view. If you stay on until 12:30, I'll give you a view of what I face when I talk to you all. And I was thinking, how can we re-authenticate ourselves? How can we show our audience we care about them? How can we be there for them? And I said, you know what? I'm going to get on lives, because I know AI can make video of me. Honey, you cannot bottle this. This cannot be done by AI, because you could ask me a question, I'm going to answer it live. We're going to giggle together. We're going to have inappropriate humor, and there is no replacement for a genuine human connection. And so to see all of you show up today, to see you all chatting with me, you know what? That's fantabulous. And so here's what I say. If you don't have an AI usage policy, don't use AI. If you don't have an idea of how people are going to respond and react, don't use AI. Use AI as a tool. Do not use AI to replace yourself or others. Yes, Kevin, often imitated, never duplicated, like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Can't you tell I did full glam today for y'all? I don't know if y'all remember, but we were in the doldrums of COVID when I was doing these weekly. And I used to do them out on my balcony in Texas, and I used to do them inside my tiny little apartment that I didn't realize was so tiny until COVID hit. And I went from 300 nights a year in a hotel and on the road to my little box in the sky, as I used to call it. I used to love it. But one time, remember, I dressed up in a sequined gown and did full glam and a red lip as if I was a showgirl and Taylor Swift was coming over. Because some days, exactly, Megan, get the thunderstruck out there, get the life of a showgirl, because some days you just got to show up in sequins. And the way this shit is going, I mean, the way the world is happening right now, you just never know when you're going to need some sequins. And so stay on the lookout. I've got some wardrobe here. I may not have all my tools, but I've been here 6 years now. And so I'm really excited to have these authentic connections. Yes, Karen, we had some great talks, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm going to try to stay to a regular schedule of every 2 weeks, and when I can't make it, I'm also going to invite some guests. So if you have any guests that you'd like to have a chat with me, I'm going to try to pull in some of my friends from around fundraising and nonprofit world. Like, now we have this special connection. I mean, I've had a special connection with Charity Water, as many of you know, I started giving in 2013. It's now 13 years. I have so many special people over there, and my dream is finally coming true this year. We are hosting a conference with Charity Water. They have an experience lab in Nashville, Tennessee that they bring, or Franklin, Tennessee, that they bring their donors through, and our attendees are going to get exclusive access to that. We're going to have exclusive experiences. The whole conference is taking place in an adventure science museum. So you want to talk about designing donor experiences? Like, can I tell you, I'm giddy. I'm giddy about that. And then Bruno Mars just sent me over the edge, right? I have someone right now trying to get tickets for him for Indianapolis, Tampa, and New Orleans. So don't think that things aren't always happening in the background. But Kevin's going to come on live. Kevin, I'm accepting that Kool-Aid challenge with you. Oh, there's Ashley working hard. She's dropping the 4 pillars link. But we're going to have some fun here. But what's going on in your world? What kind of things are happening? How many of you do have new leadership? I can guarantee that not many of you don't have new leadership. That seems to be happening all over the place. The leadership transitions are hot these days. I mean, I just want the job. So, I talk about college football a lot. I want to be an offensive or probably defensive coordinator, because hitting things sounds like a good idea these days. I want to be a defensive coordinator of a Power 4 school. I want to coach preseason, and I want to coach like 2 games in the season. Then I want to be fired for being incompetent, not for cause, just because I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take my payout and I'm out, y'all. That is the ultimate job, right? I just feel like the payouts, that's where I need to be. So Peggy has new leadership. Sandy at UCLA. Oh my gosh, Sandy, so good to see you. Love, love, love seeing you. She's got a new dean starting. And Sandy, you're at the School of Management, I think. So Kevin's getting a PhD on AI and advancement. And Kevin, can I be a draft reader? I would love to do a peer review. And he's hiring 2 alumni relations positions. Y'all, this market for hiring, as I say sometimes, the pool is shallow and murky. But when you find a gem, hold on to them and squeeze them tight. Yes, Leah, don't be mean, don't be talking about Beamer like that, but yes, yes. Okay, Sandy, I remembered you're at management. I try to remember details about people. Victoria says she's struggling to get students to accept scholarships and complete post-acceptance thank you notes at SUNY Potsdam. Hey, Victoria, uh, are you using a platform? Because we love Awarded. We love FundMiner. So texting students is where we are. Again, if you want me to answer an email, honey, it's going to take a while because I got to stop watching TikTok at 2 a.m. so I can get to my email sometimes. Um, forever to thee as well. Go Cox. It is. So it's 12:25. At 12:30, I'm going to give you a glimpse of paradise and we're going to have a mindfulness moment at 12:30. So I'll stop yapping and get some water. So, Blackbaud Award management is tough, girl. It's tough. Not exactly the friendliest use platform there, if you know what I mean, but get your life into texting, messaging, all of that good stuff. So Claudine is looking for work. Great, Claudine. I hope you're posting that on LinkedIn. I hope follow the instructions and write a good custom cover letter. I received like 5 or 6 cover letters that weren't even for my company. I mean, like low bar, people. You would be shocked at how many people don't even make it through the initial screening. So good luck with your search, Claudine. We have a jobs board. As long as the job shows the salary, we will post it on our jobs board. So feel free to check out those. So Sandy says, speaking of new leadership, do you have any rollout ideas? I will tell you the one that nobody's going for right now. Taking your dean to whatever standard ballroom in whatever standard hotel or some cocktail hour and having the donors come to them like they're the Pied Piper. Like, we got to be able to do more interesting things than listen to a dean warble on about academia for 30, 45 minutes. I will tell you that events have dramatically changed. And I will tell you that, oh, look at Allison dropping some help in there. I will tell you that my most precious thing is not my money. It is my time. I live on Grand Cayman in the Cayman Islands, to answer Sandy's question. And let me tell you what I won't do with my time. Do you know what I mean? And so I am not giving you my time. I will give you my money way before I give you my time. You know why? Because giving you my time involves you. It's all about you. It's at your time. I got to put on structured clothes. Honey, I live in the Caribbean. I have to like put on closed-toed shoes. It's not happening much. And also, like, I don't want to spend 3 hours getting talked at. That is not when there's New Love is Blind, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, Below Deck. I mean, I have priorities. There's some murder show I need to watch, and I started watching over the holidays. I decided I had never seen The Sopranos, and so I am on season 5 of The Sopranos. Please, no spoilers. And I just want to say, I love it, right? So I love it. So I'm into my Sopranos era. I got mob mentality, and y'all, that is it. That is who I am. You know what I mean? I'm in 50 Cent Sopranos energy this year. So, and Bruno Mars. That's it. That's where I am. So Matthew asked, hey, Matthew, one of our friends. We're going to do this every 2 weeks at lunch. So, okay, it's 12:29. Nicole wants me to host things at my home. I have a small home. I don't have a big house. It's just 2 bedrooms. But I have some places. So if you want to come to Grand Cayman, if you come here on a cruise, I'll pick you up at the port. We'll have a fun day. If you come here on vacay, let me know your happy birthday, Kevin. I'll see you soon. If you come here on vacay, let me know your dates. I'll try to stay home and hang out. This is my home now. I am obsessed with it. I love it here. I'm a 2-hour flight away from my parents in Atlanta. Yes, I live on 7 Mile Beach, Peggy, as you're about to see. I have great healthcare. My healthcare costs $200 a month. I'm trying to convince everybody to come move here so I can have friends on islands. So that would be, answer a history of the college question at the top of each hour. That's fun. Okay, is everybody ready for the view? Drum roll, please. I'm going to move my camera so don't get sick. So this is the view. There's my view. So I live on the end unit. That's water. That's the Caribbean Sea. Let me see if I can make it better for you guys or make it worse. One of the two. That's my figment. And there's my view. We've got 2 or 3 cruise ships in today, but y'all come hang out with me. Sorry for the wobble wobbles. We've got a pool on the other side. We've got nice beach. You can come, but let me be quiet so you can have 30 seconds of serenity. Okay, back to yapping. Hold on, let me get on camera. You can see my little, this is my little background. That's my map of the world. I scratch off every country I've been to. That's me and Clay. If you haven't yet read or listened to Fundraising is Funny, join us. That was your bi-weekly moment of Zen. I'll try to keep that up. And I have little bibbles and bobbles. I have my Muppets and my DRG ducky here and some things from New Zealand. And so I just try to, I have something from I started a business in Argentina last year. So just trying to keep it interesting. It is idyllic. I'm very blessed. But that's what keeps me going. I'm sorry, Nicole. But I came to Alaska for you more than once. I just am not coming back in the winter because I'm tired of walking like a penguin. So I do what I can. Look, everybody has their priorities in life. I have a new rule for 2026. My new rule for 2026 is I don't want to go anywhere that is beneath my age. Meaning, if it's less than, I'm 48. If it's less than 48 degrees, I want none of it. I want none of it. None of it. If it's less than 48 degrees, I want none of it. And that is Fahrenheit for my friends inland. It got cold here like the 3rd of January. It was like 78. And I was like, oh my God, where's my coat? But I have a lot of privilege and I realize that. So I'll stop talking about my privilege, but I made a choice for my mental health to live here. But I'm traveling. Colton and I are headed to Singapore next month. So we're headed to Seattle. We're going to Seattle to the Case NACE conference. That's NAIS. So that's a conference for independent schools. And then from Case NACE in Seattle, and we're going to speak for AFP South Sound in Seattle. So if you're close by, come hang out. Then we're going to go to Singapore and we're going to hang out with our friends at Singapore Management and, just so excited to be there. Then we're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to speak there. That'll be 3 weeks. So I'm going to take a rest. And then in the spring, I'm going to South Carolina. I am going to go to, let's see, South Carolina. I've got to find my, we're going to, I'm going to go visit mom and dad. Of course, we're going to Chicago. We're going to Vegas for a week. I'm going to go to AFP Icon in San Diego. Then I'm going to go up to Spokane and see my Whitworth friends who I love so much. Then I'm going to AFP Los Angeles and YMCA conference in Long Beach. I might stop by Disneyland because why not? It's its 70th anniversary. Hopefully in June, I'll be in Florida and Vegas again. Vegas for the North American Athletics Conference, because y'all know what's going on in college athletics is wild. Julie Clay and I are besties. We have not recorded in a long time because fun became work for us for a little bit. So we decided that we would bring back, oh yes, I'm going to Nashville in June. Sorry. Duh, that's our big conference. And then in fall, I know I'm going to Boston because we're going to have a Boston conference. So, I still bebop around. And so, yes, I will see you at Icon. Absolutely. We'll be in San Diego eating some fish tacos. So I'm excited about that. So would love to hear from all of you. What do you want to talk about? What are things that are on your mind? So just let me know and we'll chat about them. I will tell you, the upheaval is real. The upheaval is real. And so, I want everybody to acknowledge that. And, somebody said to me, oh, what's your New Year's resolution? Well, first of all, I've never done resolutions. I kind of try to do a word for each year. But my New Year's resolution is to survive this damn year. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but it's a little roller coastery or a lot roller coastery or, and so, I mean, I also learned, and forgive me, I am not as educated in many things as many of you are. There is such a thing as eating too many dates, the dried fruit. I was like, oh, I've heard they're really tasty. I don't eat chocolates much. And so I was like, oh, I'll have some dates and that'll be extra fiber and nutrition. Y'all, there's a limit to dates, just like kiwi and some other fibrous foods. I was bit in half cursing almighty date Tom about to die because I may or may not have had one too many dates. So be forewarned, 2026 is a lot of things, but it's the year I learned that they're not like grapes. You can't just, these are things we learn at 48. Yay! So excited to learn those things the hard way. So if you already knew that about certain foods, your wisdom is fantabulous. Fantabulous. So good on you. Any other things going on? What else is popping with you? Oh, same with sugar-free chocolates. You know what, Peggy? I had heard that about sugar-free gummy bears. And my thing is like, if we're going to do sugar, we just do it all the way. But so I didn't know that about sugar-free chocolates. Good to know. Oh, Allison. Okay. She's like, our AD thank you notes are not going well. Oh, cold and rainy Pittsburgh. Thank you notes are not going well. Taking too much time with the data while it's being fairly uninspired. Sorry about that. These are hand signed. Should I switch to email? Should I raise the dollar amount? How do we use them to thank people, not spend a lot of time on it, since for many of the people we see them in person? Okay, Allison, hopefully you'll get the webinar recording from yesterday because we talked about this. I'm going to give you one super-duper great trick. See this here? This. Once a week, I want you to find 15 minutes on your AD's calendar and have them text donors and say thank you. Long, loyal donors, first-time donors, big donors, whatever it is. Then, if a donor gives online, their thank you can be digital. If they write a check, then go ahead and mail them a note, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be your AD. It could be a coach. It could be a student athlete. And so I want you to get creative. You know what I mean? And so the urgency is that you've got to get those turnaround, right? So I really want to give you blessing to say, get them out the door. If you may or may not. I also watched West Wing. I finished West Wing before the holidays. And do you remember that moment when she was like, well, do you need me to forge his signature? Unlike the letter to take him in or out of office or something. And I was like, ah, and they were all like, ah. Sometimes you just need to get it out the door. So you need to figure out with your AD how to make them wonderful, how to really surprise and delight. And I will tell you that texting is not a problem if they gave online. Sending them a quick email, filming a video, right? I will tell you. So at the University of Texas, as you can imagine, they have lots of donors. And after every game where they have a big win, where they have, they light the tower, as they call it, the Longhorn Foundation, which is somebody I worked with a while ago, they have this thing. So if you go and follow the Longhorn Foundation social media account or Texas Athletics social media account, It is wonderful. And they will have a student athlete, and it is a star like Arch Manning or the head basketball player or something like that. And they'll be like, hey, we just beat Oklahoma and we want to say thank you. And they're like drenched in sweat. They're after the game. And we just want to say thank you to all the Longhorn fans out there who give through the Longhorn Foundation. And they post that with the victory. And let me tell you, it is fabulous. So it's not about dollar amount, it's that touches, right? So, Kathleen, the diplomat, and I have been friends for a while, except I can't get over her hair. I really have tried, and I'm really working on it because, of course, I know her from Felicity. Remember when she cut her hair in the whole show, took a dump? I need her hair. I need somebody to comb her hair. That's all. And I know it's part of the thing, but I can't. And says the girl that doesn't comb her hair some days. So Kimberly, I can't imagine what it's like being in Minnesota right now. I can't imagine. It's hard enough working in nonprofit work, and I didn't exactly cover specific things. I'm trying to keep us alive and going on social media and make this a safe space for all, but everyone has the right to live free and to have freedom of speech and to not feel unsafe in their community. My parents live in Georgia, and a mile at their Walmart grocery store, my mom saw somebody be taken this week by ICE, and that was jarring. And so now I worry deeply about them. And so I can't imagine. So social upheaval in the midst of our regular work, the way I address it is I acknowledge it. I think we first have to acknowledge it, no matter how you feel, no matter what your thoughts are, they're valid. It's one of the reasons, unfortunately, I live here and I don't live in America anymore, in the United States. And I want to say that you have the right to feel how you feel. So acknowledge it. And then the other thing I do is I give people a lot of grace. Hey, is everything okay? Hey, is there anything I can do? Hey, just checking in on you. And it's okay to have brain fart days. It's been really, my mom being sick was very humbling for me. To be honest, Kimberly, I'm going to be a little extra vulnerable here. My mom being sick was really humbling for me. I thought I had life all figured out. I had no idea how quick my life could get thrown upside down when mom got sick, and how much work it is being even a small sliver of a caretaker, even though I would fly there for treatments and, supported them. I bought them a house and, just tried to do everything a good daughter would do. But it took me away from having the vim and the vigor and the passion for my work, because even though mom was surviving and now she doesn't have cancer, it was always there. And the day we found out that they couldn't find any more cancer on her CT scan, my shoulders literally went from here to here, and I didn't realize what I was carrying. So what I will say that it came for me as a realization, because I'm not a big feelings person. I'm a big work. I'm a big get your shit done. I'm a big, like on Strengths Finders, none of that harmony stuff is in my top 5. Empathy, I've got it. It's just buried underneath layers. But I have started realizing much more that we never know what somebody's carrying to work with them. And so we need to be as grace-filled as we can, because what could be small to us could be really large to someone else. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So I just try to have grace, because you never know when the mindset is going to hit you and you need to just go lay down or look at the ocean or watch some Sopranos and be like, I'm going to go talk to the bada bing here, or watch a 50 Cent documentary and be like, well, you don't have to forgive or forget, pettiness is pettiness. So I think I will tell you, Beth, you who has relocated and you're working remotely, the way I stay connected with my team is through joy. Whether it's spontaneous joy, planned joy. I am currently not drinking alcohol, so we can have happy hours without with snacks. I try to send caring messages that aren't just about work. I try to do surprise and delights. I try to have moments at every corner where we're not just talking about work. But the other thing is, I like writing. We don't have a Wunderbar postal system here. And so it would be a nightmare. So every time I go home to my parents' house, I sit down and write at least 10 handwritten notes. And I encourage you to do the same. And then I mail them out, and they aren't for a specific thing. They aren't but I write notes, and I tell people that I value them. I tell people that I care about them. I tell them what they mean to me, or just that I was thinking of them. I try to do the same thing with text, but that has really kept me connected. And so it's important to me. It's the way I try to do it. This is also these every 2-week conversations are going to be my way to reconnect with my community. Because I don't always want to travel, although I'm doing a ton of it. I'm single now. I went through a breakup of a relationship of 7, almost 8 years, so I want to reconnect. And I think humanness is what we're missing. So I'm here to reconnect with you all. So great question, Beth. And I look forward to staying connected with you. I also am living in the 45-minute world. So other than webinars, we're going to keep these to 45 minutes so that we can all have that 15 minutes to refresh and restore before we go back into meetings, to take some time for ourselves, take a walk, take a snack, take a moment, get some Bruno Mars tickets, whatever it is. But I really want you to think about, and Claudine, happy to talk to you anytime. Please send me an email. My email address is Lynne, my first name, @donorrelations.com. I'm happy to talk to anyone. I struggle with my mental health. I see a therapist, a psychologist every week. And I spend time actively working on my mental health. And so, yeah. So you never know what anybody's carrying. And I want to say thank you for always making my load a lot lighter. So I will see you in 2 weeks, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you again for being part of my wonderful community. Happy 2026, or let's get it 2026. Let's have some good energy. And if we can't, let's watch some good TV, right? Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.